Hey everyone, today, we will discuss the date object. The date object represents a date and time. It allows you to work with dates, perform calculations, and format them for display. It is very important when you are working with time, year, month, day, and minutes. Let me show you some examples to help you understand the date object. First, create a variable called current date and set it equal to a new date. This will make an object and store it in the current date variable. If you use this variable in a console log, it will show the current date and time. As I record this video, it's Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. It displays both the date and the time together. It's currently in Pakistan Standard Time. If you only want the date without the time, you can use a method called toDateString with the current date variable. This will display the complete date on the console. We just learned how to show the current date and time. Now, if we want to show a particular date and time, here's what we do: create a new variable and name it specific date. Set it equal to the new date. In this date object, assign the year, 2023, then the month 3. And finally, the day 15. Use the console.log to display this new variable specific date. On the date that I mentioned, it corresponds to a Wednesday in March, precisely on the 15th day of the year 2023. Let's make a copy of this line. Change the variable name to specific date time. We can also include the time with this date. To set the time, write a capital T and specify 3 o'clock and 12 minutes. Now, we have the same date and time as we mentioned in the date object. Moving forward, let's clear this code. Now, we can set a custom date by breaking it into different parts. This means you can define each aspect in a specific order. Start by specifying the year, followed by the month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, and finally, milliseconds. Create a new object called customDate and set it equal to a new date. In the date object, set the year to 2023, the month to 2, and the day to 24. The first 3 values are related to date. Now, we can define the time, set the hours to 10, minutes to 3, seconds to 2, and milliseconds to 8. I will use this custom date in console log. It shows the specified date on the console. Now, make a copy of this line. Change the name of the variable to custom date 1. If you remove the last 4 values and keep the first 3, use the custom date 1 variable in a console.log. It should update just date because we've defined the year, month, and day. Did you notice that even though I passed 2 as the month, in the output, we got March? This happens because, in JavaScript, months start from 0. So, at 0, we have January, at 1 is February, at 2 is March, and so on. Please copy and paste this line. Change the variable name to custom date 2. Set the second month to 14 and the 24th day to 35. Then, use this new variable in the console log. Even though there are only 12 months in a year, in JavaScript, January is 0, and December is 11. By setting the month to 14, it moves to the next year, making it March 2024. However, when displayed, it appears as April 4th. Remember that months can have 28 to 31 days, but entering 35 days automatically adjusts. Since March has 31 days, the extra 4 days are added to April. The code calculates and adjusts when we add extra months and days. Let's start fresh by clearing all the code. We'll focus on some methods to retrieve information. Make a new variable called myDate and set it equal to the current date. Now, I'll show you how to get specific information using methods. To get the year, create a variable named year and set it equal to myDate followed by a dot. To access the year, use the getFullYear method. If I show this year variable in the console log, it should display the year 2024. Next, make a variable for the month. Using the myDate object, there's a method for the month called getMonth. By using this method, you can access the current month. In the console log, I'll display my month. Now, we'll make a variable to find the day. Set it equal to myDate followed by the getDate method. Use the day variable in the console log to check the current day. create another variable for hours. There's a method called getHours to access the hours. Display this new hours variable in the console log. Let's make a variable for minutes. Keyword constant name of the variable will be minutes. Set it equal to myDate followed by the getMinutes method. Use the minutes variable in the console log to see the minutes. Create one more variable for seconds. myDate object followed by getSeconds method. I will use this seconds variable in the console log. You can use these methods to access different parts of the date. Now, let's show the date in a specific way. For example, let's start with the day, then the month, and finally the year. To do this, create a variable called dateMonthYear. Set it equal to the day, followed by a plus sign. Add a dash between them, then add the month. Since months start from 0, add 1 to get the correct month. After that, use another plus sign and add the year variable. Use the console log and insert this dateMonthYear variable to see the formatted date. Using this approach, you have the flexibility to customize the date format based on your preferences. Let's start fresh by clearing this code, but keep the myDate variable. Now, we'll talk about some set methods. These methods help change or set the year, month, and hours. For example, using the myDate object and the setFullYear method, you can set the year to your preference. Let's set it to 2025 and check it in the console log. You'll see the year has changed. Currently, it's showing the current month. Now, to change the month, use the setMonth method and pass 3 to set it to April. Change the date through the myDate object. And use setDate method, providing a value between 1 and 30. Next, set the hours using the setHours method with 4. Quickly set new minutes and seconds in the same way. With these set methods, we've successfully updated our time and date. Before we proceed, let's clear all the code, and we'll stick with the myDate object. Now, I'll show you how to display time in milliseconds. Create a variable named time in ms. Set it equal to myDate followed by the getTime method. This method converts your date into milliseconds. In the console log, insert time in ms. We now have the time in milliseconds, but it's important to note that it considers January 1st, 1970, as the starting date and the current date as the ending date. We can define a specific ending date. Let's set it to the year 2020, the 5th month, and the 15th day. This will return the time in milliseconds from 1970 to 2020. Before we continue, let's clear the code. I'll stick with the myDate object in console log. Now, let's create a simple program to get the name of the day. Make an array containing the names of the days. In the square brackets, write all the names of days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. In the console log, my array days with square brackets. Use the myDate object. And apply getDay method on the myDate object. It should display Tuesday because today is Tuesday. Similarly, you can create a program for months. Feel free to customize this program and paste it in the comments section. Let's remove all the code. Now, we're going to create a program to find the last day of the month. We just need to provide the year and month, and this program will determine the last day. We'll create a function for this task called getLastDayOfMonth. It will take two parameters, year and month. Now, make an object named date, set it equal to new date, and pass the same parameter values for year and month. Include one more value, 0, for the day. When we pass 0, it signifies the last day of the previous month. Use the return statement in the date object, followed by the getDate method. Now, let's test this function. In the console log, call this function and provide the year 2019 and month 1. We should get 31 because the last day of January is 31. Now, copy this line, but this time use the year 2020 and month 4. It should display 30. Duplicate it again, but this time use the year 2021 and I want to know the last day of February, so pass 2. The last day of February 2021 is 28. If you find it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos.